Hello, Merry Meet. I was watching a video today about some Norwegian folk magic, and a question came up that I have been asked a few times as well. Thought I would just make a video about it. And basically, what this is about is whatever or not the words that you say in a spell have power in and of themselves. Because um, this video was referencing so-called readers, and I'm not here talking about tarot readers. It's a folk magic tradition where you read verses over someone to stop blood or cure an illness or any other thing that you might need done. And there were a few of these verses in the books, and some of them had tried them out, and it had worked. So the question, of course, then came up with do the words themselves have power? Excuse me, I seem to have a cat here in my mouth. Kissing the cat. Well, anyway, and I'm asked this too a lot of times when when we discuss spells online, or I post a spell I have made on my blog, or any of the like. I'm always asked this, but does the word themselves have power? And I would say yes and no. Now, of course, with anything metaphysical like this, it has very much to do with personal experience and personal opinion. So what I'm saying here might not be the right thing for you. But in my experience, no. Basically, the words themselves are tools. They are just like candles might be, or a full-fledged ritual for a ceremonial magician, and so on and so forth, are tools. It is the theatrics that let your mind convince itself that it's doing magic. The same way, these words and chants and whatever you decide to use are that just words. However, some words have become so ingrained in belief that belief from all of the people that have used this, that have believe in this, gives the words themselves some power. So, for example, the Lord's Prayer, which has been used as a protective charm for centuries, is protective. And you don't need to have any particular ability or having developed anything just to use that, because, well, definitely, if you are trained in magic, you can add more intent to it. You can make it stronger and better. There are some power in the words themselves because it has become symbolic. It has gotten a place in the collective subconscious by all the people that have used it. So, in the same way, some of the chants that are used in folk magic as well have this quality to it that makes it, because the chants have been used generation after generation after generation, meaning that by all the people that have used it, it has gained some power of its own. And the same with the wording of traditional spells. Now, yes, some sounds do have power of their own. They have vibrations, just like a stone have vibration. So that you have, for example, sound healing, where you use a sound to heal. For example, one method that is very easy to learn to see, to try to figure out which body part there might be a problem with, and of course, go to a doctor. But it's an interesting thing there is to hold a tone and sing at something, and listen when the tone becomes unclear. The only thing you need to do is to be able to reasonably hold a tone. So, for example, I would then take to that there's nothing wrong with my hand because there's no point where the sound soars. You have the same concept. And you have the idea of vibrating words within ceremonial magic. So some sounds, some words have power of their own, but with chants and spells, it is more the intent behind those spells. And I would say that in and of themselves, the words are just words. But it feels, they might feel more magical if they have been used for generations, and also you have that oomph behind it because of how long it has been used. It has become ingrained in local folklore, and that gives it a power because it has to do with the power of belief. It's the same thing that, let's say you want to protect your home. Like I've said before, use action figures. Use action figures of the goodies of whatever show that you loved as a child. Why? Because so many kids have grown up with these characters being protectors and being the strong heroes that has got that has gained momentum, that has gained some strength and power within the collective subconscious, within the astral. So it becomes a strong symbol of that. Then of course you also have that it's easy for you to connect with that. So then that I would say no. Other than that thing, that I would say no, that it doesn't have a power of its own. But our belief, our collective belief, can give something power, and it doesn't really have to be belief either. It's our association with it. It's the same as if you are sitting down with your family, you have a nice clean tablecloth, everybody's sitting around there, you're laughing, you're having fun. The food will taste better. Even if it's just exactly the same food that you had just running to your car, stressing around as yesterday, it will taste better because it has another setting. Or that you have that one smell of some food stuff or one piece of decoration and such that immediately bring that feeling of, oh, it's Christmas for you. It's the same thing. Now, the other thing that gives such things a bit of power of its own is basically that can become a more powerful way to produce theatrics for your mind. Because if you just write down a spell yourself, blah 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 blah, blah whatever I want, then for a lot of people it doesn't feel as real as when you say this chant has been handed down to me from my grandfather who got it from his mother, who then it feels more. Basically, it's a sign that if I am going to do something with arthritis, for example, I have this old chant with folk magic that has proven to be somewhat effective. And now I can, of course, just look at a person and say, well, arthritis, I want you to be gone. I don't like you. Sod off. And for some people, that might work. That might be enough to focus their mind on that task. Just basically speak to it, tell it to get the hell out of there. But I know that while I know it's theatrics, it still makes me focus and more feel that it's magical. It feels more real to me. And so therefore it enables me more to get those energies flowing when I use this old Norwegian chant, which is Jesus gick sig vägen fram, så mötte han den onde Ruita. Var skall du hen, sagde Jesus. Jag ska till Näsby att suga blod att röjta kött. Nej, du ska att vige, sagde Jesus, till den skog där ingen man bor och till den sjö hvor ingen man ror. And because and all chant has been found in grimoires. It feels more real, even if I know it isn't really more real than uh, if I would just talk to the illness. It just feels that way, and therefore it gains power. But no, the words, the tools, the things we use in magic does not have power in and of itself. It's the same thing that I always tell people when it comes to the debate around Ouija boards. When people say, "Oh, but it's a horrible that we use an Ouija board," but it's cardboard or wood or glass or whatever it is made of. That's all it is. Same as tarot cards. I just cardboard. It's pictures and cardboard. The power is in you. It's in the practitioner. These things are tools to help us access that power, because it's not that easy to do that in our everyday mind. We have to have help to get into that special mind space. Just like we have tools, then like decorations or special foods that get us into the Christmas spirit, basically, then we feel like Christmas. And if you don't have that, it doesn't feel like Christmas. We have tools that helps us get into the magical consciousness, that helps us feel that yes, what I am doing is magic. So let me take any tool here. Here we go. I use this thing here. It's a little offering bowl. I use it to leave offerings, and I sometimes use it to leave wishes, just little notes. But what is it? It's just a bit of pottery. It's a bowl. That's all it is, and needs a wash, it seems. Oh, it has a long black hair in it. Wonder where it came from. Come out. There we go. But it's just a bit of ceramics. That's all it is. But because I use this for ritual, when I pick this up or place something in it, it feels more special to me than if I've just thrown a piece of paper with a wish written on it on the table, or just decided, well, I wish for X. But when making it a ritual action and doing it with something that feels special, it gains more traction within my own mind. And that's the power of chants. And know so in and of itself, the words within a ritual, a spell, whatever system you use, do not have power in and of themselves. Sometimes they have inherited power because of how many people have used it and believed in it, but in and of itself they don't. You give it that power because it makes it feel more real for you. It makes the magic more real. So when you use that old chant to cure a fever, it feels more magical to you than if you just say, "Oh, fever, head out of here." Now, of course, for some people, it works to do it the simple way. But for others, we need that bit of thing to focus on, that tool to make things work. And that is my opinion on that. So, yeah, I hope you have a great day, and blessed be.